Hello, this is Danny Raymond, the voice behind Ray's Guide. Well, 4.2.1 Resource Race is approaching its first full week in release, and the reaction is not at all positive. While they were doing the release candidates, I was looking at the list of known bugs and commented that I thought that some of them should be regarded as blockers considering the feature content. But when this year we are looking at releases as being synonymous with planned monthly events, then delaying the release for a week is tantamount to saying that the event will run for 1 week less, which means that the bar for saying that something is a blocker is pretty high. And to be honest, in the last few days, I've personally experienced quite a number of the problems that have been reported with delivery missions. I've been shot down by bored PvP players, possibly thinking that if they camp the starting location of one company, that they are indirectly helping their favorite company. I've had freight elevators freak out on me, forcing me to partially complete a contract, and I've seen outposts surrounded by countless waiting and abandoned ships, mostly abandoned. And one thing that is worth pointing out is that most of the bugs with the outpost elevators have workarounds that work most of the time. So, for example, the bug where you have a large delivery mission and you drag a stack of 18 crates onto the freight elevator and it says that it can't hold them, you can right-click on the stack and split it into 2 stacks of 9, and it does work. Other workarounds for elevator bugs have been published on Spectrum and other videos. And then I tried the ultimate workaround for it. I said, F it all, I'm going to mine my own minerals for the event. And yes, that's a pretty effective workaround, except for one small thing. If the best way to make money in this event is to do small deliveries, and the best way to advance quickly is to do large deliveries, mining your own corundum, copper, and titanium is both the least profitable and slowest advancing route in Resource Race. It actually makes a little sense that moving someone else's stuff is paid more than creating your own incremental addition to resources, but that's what it is. And think of it. Every player who switches from doing deliveries to mining their own resource not only is less frustrated by the outpost bugs, but also reduces pressure on the outpost queues and elevators. But how do you do that? Well, you pay more per SCU for the ongoing resource creation missions.
Cash?
Problem solved. Now you might say, well, I'm not going to buy a whole extra ship just for doing this mission, and I don't like mining. But hey, if they increase the payout, there will be plenty of mole owners wanting someone to man the side seats or pilot. You do know how to pilot, don't you? Which brings up the question about being a mole owner, and how do you share the profits of a run when the real payout will come much later after refining and delivery? And I have a suggested solution, which I call bag share. Each crew member, in other words, the pilot and the 3 mining operators, either bring or buy from the captain 2 Argo Mole ore bags, making for the 8 that the mole holds. The mole divides everything that is mined equally among each of the 8 bags, so that 2 bags hold exactly a quarter share of the yield. Then each crew member takes their own 2 bags and loads them into their own inventory, and then they can make their own choices about whether to sell the ore or refine it, which way to refine it, and where to deliver to. Neat and simple. Bag share. And if CIG decides to take my suggestion to increase payment on the ongoing resource creation missions and have more miners, there is also something that they can do to make the resource race more interesting. Right now, just after a few days of a month-long event, it is already pretty clear that Hurston Dynamics is going to win it. They are already ahead by a substantial margin, and thanks to the bandwagon effect, it is highly unlikely that anything will change that. The reason is that unless you really like some other color armor, if you only have time to get to level 5 in one company, you're going to pick the one that is going to get you the bonus 6th award. And right now, that is obviously Hurston. Unless, of course, what if this was happening in the real world? What would be occurring in the boardrooms of companies clearly losing to Hurston? Well, one of 2 things. One would be to simply accept that they've lost and give up. That's not very interesting. The second would be doing something bold to roll the dice, like, overpaying for people to bring more resources to you than the other guys. So the interesting thing that CIG could do would be to increase the payout for the ongoing resource creation missions, but only for companies other than Hurston. Would that turn things around? Nobody knows. And that's the point. It would add suspense to an aspect of the event that currently has no suspense at all. And if there's no suspense over the result 4 days into a month-long event, that's not a good sign. And now for an update on the channel's events. I have video contests going on until the September release for aspiring machinima makers to win a prize of the winner's choice of the Anvil Asgard or Starlancer TAC. See the reference video in the details for that. And then in October, the SusanCon Direct Grow the Channel Ship giveaway for the winner's choice of the Arasta or the Banu Merchantman, which will be drawn at my Raised Guide Los Angeles area watch party for SusanCon Direct in Long Beach, along with other watch party specific items and the Raised Captain recognition items that I will be announcing. Then in November, the annual IAE Week giveaway for the Starlancer Max. So there's a lot of giveaways coming up in the next 3 months or so. For the Grow the Channel Ship Giver and IAE Week giveaways, be a member for automatic entry for each video. Otherwise, just subscribe and comment on every video, somehow including the secret word. And the secret word for this is my method for paying your crew on an Argo mole. Fly safe, keep it real, and I'll see you in the verse. This is Danny Raymond with Raised Guide.